Hey there, my name is Kim Backus and I'm continuing my series of short videos called Know Your Right and Know Your Worth. So what's my story? Well, I understand domestic abuse because I am a domestic violence survivor and overcomer, and I've come out on the other side, and I'm here to show you that knowledge is the key to unlocking that door to freedom. And my videos are not legal advice, as I'm not a lawyer, but someone who's really passionate about people knowing their rights. So today I'm going to be talking about sexual harassment in the workplace. Now, with the news of sexual harassment scandals surrounding a certain Hollywood producer and other well-known men in show business, finally Hollywood's veil of secrecy has been pierced, and that bright light is now shining on aggressors and powerful offenders as an example to every other employee out there all over the world. Now, sexual harassment can happen to anyone at any time, in any place. Now, sexual harassment is unwanted conduct of a sexual nature and can happen to men or women, and can happen at your place of work. Now, sexual harassment can take place in many forms, which can broadly be categorized into three groups. Now listen up. The first group is verbal, which can be in the form of whistling at somebody and making sexual comments about a person's body, making sexual comments or innuendos, turning work discussions to sexual topics, telling sexual jokes or stories, asking personal questions about your social or your sexual life, making kissing sounds, and making sexual comments about a person's clothing or how they look. And the next group is non-verbal, and that is looking a person up and down, or what do they call it? Oh yeah, the elevator eye look, and staring at somebody, blocking a person's path on purpose, giving personal gifts, expecting sexual favors in return, or displaying sexual suggestive visuals in the office, or making sexual gestures with their hands or through body movements, or making facial expressions such as winking or blowing a kiss. And the last group is physical, and that's touching the person's clothing, their hair or their body, hugging or kissing or patting or stroking or touching or rubbing oneself around another person, or standing close or brushing up against another person. Now, sexual harassment can violate the dignity of a worker, creating an intimidating, hostile, degrading and humiliating environment to work in. And it can be daunting to stand up to sexual harassment, very frightening, but the law is there to back you up. Now, it's worth keeping a record of any sexual harassment you believe that you are a victim of, including dates and times and locations. And you can think about pursuing various options like lodging a formal grievance of complaint with your employer, or taking your employer to an employment tribunal. Now, before making a claim to an employment tribunal, you have to go through an early conciliation process provided by a mediation group such as ACAS, who are the Advisory Conciliation and Arbitration Service, and they may be able to negotiate a settlement or a practical solution for you. Now, if this is not possible, you can make a claim online, and you may have potential claims in both the civil court and the employment tribunal. And in order to maximize your prospect of success, it is important you choose a legal representative that understands the remedies available to both the employment tribunal and the civil courts. Now, it's important that you choose which avenue is the best option for you, so you can make an informed decision as to how you wish to proceed. Now, if you can't afford to pay for a solicitor and you can't get legal aid, you may be able to find a solicitor who will take your case on a no win, no fee basis. Sexual harassment is wrong. No person should ever have to put up with it, and there should be no amount of money or position in a company that should keep you under bondage of sexual harassment day in and day out. And if you are unsure that you have been a victim of sexual harassment and you don't feel that you can really approach your appropriate supervisor or your manager, there are many sexual harassment helplines you can get in touch with for free, confidential advice. And there is the Equality and Human Rights Commission, who have a sexual harassment helpline. They have one for England, Scotland and Wales. There's a Citizens Advice you can go to, and you know there's also the Victim Support Line. Or if you feel that you are in immediate danger, then call the police or seek legal advice. Now, just a few points to remember. Document any harassment, record and date any conversation, any physical or verbal action that embarrassed you, made you feel uncomfortable, and state it when you record it. Second point, say no. Say it again, say it loud, say it clear. Let the workplace know and let them hear it. Your answer is no. And trust your instincts. If it feels wrong, it is wrong. Your work should be a place where you feel safe and able to carry out your job without fear of harassment or assault by your colleague or management. Do not suffer in silence. Sexual harassment is not about sex, it's about power and about what somebody does to you to try and take away your power. And I'm here today to encourage you to know that you have a right to take back your power. That same power that got you that job in the first place. What we are seeing today all around us in politics and entertainment and more are terrible, frightening behaviours that point to a gaping gap in our society. And by speaking out against sexual harassment and calling out inappropriate behaviour in the workplace, you can challenge and change the dynamics in your own sphere of influence, and you'll also be able to encourage other women and men to do exactly the same. Now, if someone's behaviour towards you are of a sexual nature and it makes you feel uncomfortable, report it. Remember, that Hollywood producer, and you all know who I'm talking about, thought he was untouchable, and look what happened. Well, I'm out of time, and if you think this video will help someone, then please share it. My name is Kim Backus with Know Your Rights and Know Your Worth.